So my name is Alana Langlois, and I'd like to welcome you to our kickoff meeting for our 2021-2022 grant cycle for Handbags That Help. This is our 14th year for Handbags That Help, and in the past 13 years, our group has been able to provide $580,595 to our community through our grants process, and I think that is worthy of some applause. Ladies, I'm so honored that you would come back to our group this year. I'm so honored that you joined us last year and helped us to really provide some funding for our community when it was most needed due to the pandemic. Your funds are just as needed this year. Our letters of intent have come in. Emily will tell us more about that later, but there are groups in this town who need some grants, and we are here to research those grants and hand out that money. And I'm just so happy that you are all here with me. I would like at this time to introduce Ginger Jones. She's going to give us our Foundation 5. Ginger is currently the Board of Trustees Chair for our Community Foundation, and she is a Handbags That Help member. And Ginger, if you'd like to come on up. Thank you. Welcome.
Lana. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, I usually don't have that problem. I have a nice loud voice. Well, good morning. It's really a pleasure to be here. I have been a member of Handbags That Help since I moved to Findlay about 6 years ago. And in fact, Mary Beth Hammond, when I first moved to town, said, Ginger, you need to get involved with this organization. So I've been really proud to be a part of it since then. I joined the board of the Community Foundation about 2.5 years ago, and I'm honored to have been the chair since about a year ago. And I just thought I'd give you a little update about what's important to the Community Foundation these days and what we've been doing. And one of the first is we've been adapting to COVID like everyone else. And so from very early on in the pandemic, we've been worried about eviction risk and the risk that families in our community would get behind on their rent and start a cycle of eviction that is very difficult to get out of, as any of you may know. So the first thing we did was last summer, we granted $155,000 to Hope House to try to be a coordinator for the eviction prevention in our community. And that money has gone into our community in a lot of different ways, through rental assistance, through legal assistance. And I'm pleased to say that today we feel like our community is in a good spot related to evictions. The moratorium ended this summer on evictions, so landlords can proceed with evictions today, but we're really hopeful that we've helped keep that number low and that we can help people move through this difficult economic time without being evicted. And if any of you know, families who end up in that situation have a really difficult time rebuilding from that. And so it's really our goal in a community to keep people in their homes as much as possible. So I'm really proud that the Community Foundation really got involved in that issue early, and hopefully we've helped prevent some evictions in our community. The second thing I want to share with you is the Family Center. Hopefully many of you know about the Family Center on North Blanchard. Is everybody aware of that? That's actually owned by the Community Foundation. 15 years ago, we partnered to purchase that building and help create a safe, clean space for nonprofits in our community to have facilities. And as many of you know, nonprofits start out usually without a lot of money. They might be in spaces that aren't optimal, maybe that's not easy for the public to get to them. So we're really excited that we can provide this for the community. And there are a lot of great services for families there. The Kaufman Clinic, the Blanchard Valley Kaufman Clinic is there, and they have some great physicians. There is a dental clinic for people who need assistance with dental care. Legal aid is there. Cancer Patient Services is there. Chopin Hall is there for food and clothing assistance. And it's just really a great space. There's also community rooms. Many of you may have been there to a meeting in one of the community rooms. So I'm really grateful that the Community Foundation has had the foresight 15 years ago to create that space. Today, we support that space and really want to make it a good, inclusive location for everyone in our community. So that's what your Community Foundation is doing. You know, Handbags That Help is, I think, a great organization. And I've often, Brian and I, the CEO at the foundation, are talking about, can we create more giving circles like this? Because I think Handbags has been a really great inspiration for the rest of the community. So thanks for having me here today. And I will turn it back to Alana. Great, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ginger. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you. At this time, Marla Fredericks will come up and she will introduce our guest speaker.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Marla Frederick, and I am here to introduce Matt Allen. Matt has acted as the operations manager for LGBTQ+ Spectrum here in Findlay since 2020. Spectrum has been active in Findlay since 2010, supporting the LGBTQ+ population, and they were a grant winner from our organization last year. So everyone, please welcome Matt. Thank you.
And now we play the wheel. There we go. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me here today. Can everyone in the back hear me okay? Projecting is not my strong suit, I will forewarn. So give me like a hand signal if I get too quiet on you. So you may notice that I am not my supervisor, Jazz. For those of you who came to the last meetings last year, I do not have the fancy British accent that she does, unfortunately. So I'm not as fun to listen to, but we're gonna try and keep it nice and fun. I am from Spectrum of Findlay. Like they said, we've been around since 2010. We've been supporting the LGBTQ+ community here in town. There's our website link. So our technical timeline goes back till 2003 when we started doing just backyard prides out of the UU church. Well, once the Open Door Church, not UU, that's the other one. Open Door Church, once they closed down, we did make ourselves a 501(c)(3), and then that became Spectrum. So we've been active since 2010. About 2016 is when we really started increasing our programming. That included support groups, book clubs, whatever you can think of to get people out in their community and socializing. And then in 2020, that's when we really started hitting the ball running with education, which is what this group funded. I'm going to touch a little bit more on why our work's important, apparently twice. So, oh, did it break? Perfect. So, as you can see by these couple of graphs behind me, 40% of the homeless youth population do identify as LGBT, 7% of the general youth population also identify as LGBT. Those results are only increasing as more people are starting to explore the middle sexualities and middle gender identities, as we're starting to learn it's more of a spectrum. Hence our name. The other reason our work is important is because the other statistics behind me. You can see that LGBTQ people experience increased discrimination as opposed to their cisgender and straight peers. You can also see that they have increased self-harm behaviors. They have increased harm done to them. They're also typically forced into survival sex work as well as abused in sexual assaults a lot more frequently than their straight counterparts. So what do we do to support this work? A lot of you may have been to Pride this year. We try to do that once a year at the first weekend of June. That's a big advocacy day for us, a big weekend where we can get our name out there and show people that this is the community, these are the people who support us, this is what we like to do, this is who we are. Other things we do in February, we tend to run a pancake breakfast where we give free pancakes out to the community, kind of our way of giving back and trying to get people out to meet us, talk to us. We also run a cardio program every Tuesday. That's a little bit of an odd one, you might think. Like, why are they doing a workout class? So we actually use a lot of data, and the community health assessment showed that people wanted to get out and be active. And this was our way to do it. We work with a really great instructor who does a nutrition club in town. It's only $5 every Tuesday. It supports our work as well as his work. So the other big thing up there is the support groups. Those have been running for about 5 years now. We've seen a lot of increases in attendance. We're currently working with Focus, the Recovery Center on Trenton, and then the Loft, who's over here on Crawford Street. The Loft runs they host the space for our youth and parent group, and then Focus will host the space for our adults. So lots of great stuff we're doing there in the community. But the big thing that we are doing is Alphabet Soup. This is the program you guys helped us fund. These are some of the graphics. I'm going to show off a few of them that we were able to get funded through a graphic designer we contracted with. So Alphabet Soup runs through the K through 12 education, as well as a little bit beyond. We do a little bit of community education. We're able to do some business education as well. So we're really running the whole gambit, trying to get everyone accepting of LGBTQ policies, procedures, making sure everyone's aware that this isn't just a phase, this isn't just a movement, it is a type of people that we are going to encounter, whether we agree with it or not. These are some of the like really cute graphics we made for our K through 12. You can see a couple of different family structures we wanted to include. You can see a whole bunch of different types of bodies. We have a couple people who might be discriminated based on other reasons other than being LGBTQ. So we wanted to really bring in that diversity and belonging and show that anybody can identify as LGBTQ+, as well as these other groups who also see similar cases of discrimination. On the middle there is also what we call our gender person. It kind of breaks down the differences in expression, gender identity, and sexual orientation, as well as the older version goes into like how biological sex also plays a factor in that. We just didn't want to explain that to kindergartners. Seemed like a hard one. These are some of our more adult-based graphics. So our graphic designer was able to take what we had in the K through 12 and also up it to a more adult version. These are what we can use in business presentations, as well as in our general usage when I come to talk to people like you guys or other groups in town. The slideshow that I'm on is also made by that graphic designer. So we got a lot of stuff out of that. If there are any questions, I did put our emails up here in case anyone wanted to email us. Jay Bradley is actually my supervisor, and then the M. Allen is mine. But I also wanted to see if there are any questions right off the bat from anyone in the room. Maybe. Yes.
Have you been able to present locally the Alphabet Soup program yet?
So we've done, I think, 2 presentations so far. The Adamus board actually helped support us even further. They gave us some funding to make personalized presentations for 10 organizations throughout Hancock County. So we've done 2 of those, and we've got a couple others scheduled. I know Bluffton University has one on the works. I think NAMI got one. I think Safi's getting one. So a couple of those organizations have seen it. We're hoping that the schools, once they kind of figure out their structure on how they're going to be bringing in speakers, we're going to be able to bring this to them and properly start getting into like Findlay High School, Arcadia, Glenwood, and everywhere else around the area. Yes.
If I'm correct, it was just, the program itself was just finished and launched in May. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I remember you inviting our group to see the launch. I was not there, but
Absolutely.
so it's brand new, really.
It is fresh off the presses.
Yes.
We got a whole bunch of nice handouts that we were able to give out at that. We have a whole bunch of activities that were designed and personalized for this project. So we appreciated the extended timeline. We originally tried to get it through in 3 months, and we were like, how are we going to make an entire education for like 6 levels in 3 months? But because we had the extra time, we were able to really spruce it up, polish it, and get it really well done, and really happy with it at the time. Any other questions? Yes.
Materials can be accessed online.
So I'm hoping our K through 12 materials can be. I don't know if the community ones, because we do tend to make people pay for that presentation, but I'm hoping the K through 12 will be able to post onto our website once we get it properly spruced up. We're currently trying to work with the marketing team through the University of Findlay to get our website back up into this modern age. Our website hasn't had a proper update in like 3 years. So we're like, okay, let's get it fancy with the people who know what they're doing. So we're definitely using our community resources on that. And I'm hoping we can get these, like the gender person, the other graphics that we've made that are very useful to just see even as a parent. And then possibly even get the presentations on the website. Other questions? If not, thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you, Matt. That was fantastic to have such a positive message come out and be a part of our program today. I'm going to try cardio drumming if anyone wants to join me. So, see how that goes. And Solon is going to talk with you about some things coming up with the guidance.
Hello, Vic family. Lisa gets our PowerPoint back up here. Thank you, Matt. I'm especially interested in the pancake breakfast. I am hoping that they do have rainbow pancakes. Well, the next slide is not that exciting. So while Lisa is pulling it up, I will tell you that it's Guiding Circle updates. As you may recall, a Guiding Circle is our sort of board for handbags that help. I am the chair. I'll just introduce everybody. Nikki Matheny is our vice chair this year. Emily Hinderleiter at the back is new to the Guiding Circle this year, and she is our grants coordinator. Marla Frederick, who you already saw this morning. She must have stepped outside real quick. Marla is our program chair. Heidi Croy is unable to be here today, but she is our communications chair. So you will hear from her on Facebook and through the emails. Lisa Vick was our communications chair before, so she's helping, but she's our secretary this year. And Julia Walsh will be at our afternoon meeting, and she is our treasurer. And Tasha Dimling continues to be our wonderful Community Foundation liaison. So I'm just going to call you up one by one, and we'll start with Nikki for your update.
Good morning. I guess no speaker. I got to talk really loud. Well, you might be wondering why there's a Christmas present as the centerpiece on our table this morning. You see that? It seems the shift from full-blown 100-degree Ohio summer to pumpkin spice latte season happened just 7 days ago. And now I look like I've totally lost it and up here talking about Christmas. So the Guiding Circle and I got together a few weeks ago, and we thought we could solve a problem for all of you. You know, that wonderful, loving, hardworking, amazing, giving, inspiring woman in your life. You know, the ones whose interests span far and wide, and she means the world to you. Yeah, that one. The one that also is impossible to buy an impactful, meaningful gift for. Well, we have an idea for you. The Christmas season Handbags has put together a Ladies of Legacy gift. This wonderful package that you see on your tables will include a holiday photo ornament that we'll put together with you with the commemorative picture of your Lady of Legacy. It will include the purse charm that we have here. I can sort of walk this around so everybody can see the commemorative purse charm that comes with the Ladies of Legacy, and the opportunity to honor your special woman in your life at our December 8th meeting, and the parted gift that with careful planning will make an impact far and wide in our community for many years to come, which is the donation to the endowment. So as I don't mean to skip over a season or two, I'd love to help you get this wonderful gift in the works to honor that special lady in your life. On your table is a slip that talks about the ordering process. You can get with me, or I also volunteered Tasha to help. I'm sure she would do that. So you can fill it out today or reach out to me before November 30th would be great. And what our Lady of Legacy does is it's our, a representation of how we can give to the endowment and, really carry on our legacy for many years to come. So any questions about it? No, I'll let y'all go back to your pumpkin spice lattes instead of Christmas.
Thank you, Nikki. Lisa, did you have anything you'd like to share as secretary? No, thank you. Emily will come up and give us a quick update on our grants committee and how our grants process is going this year.
No.
Okay. Hi, friends. So letters of intent came in yesterday. I was a little panicked, but Tasha got them to me, and we have 4 applicants that I'm very excited about and the grants committee is always open. So we have 4 totally different projects. They're not fully formed ideas yet. There is one that's going to have to do with nature and outdoors and working with school kids. There is one that's going to work with a law enforcement community in our area, one for the city mission, and then one for training and advancing skills to sort of help with all of those help wanted signs that we have in our community, helping people build the skills that they need. So restaurants and those types of things. So that's it. If you want to be involved, which I hope you do, and get a special project, then join the grants committee and you can work with those organizations as they develop their ideas. Yes,
Do you have, when your first grants meeting?
I do. I'm hoping somebody else has the calendar.
Well,
September 20th. September 20th.
and just for everyone, we will be sending that out, information out via email as well and posting it on Facebook. Yes.
Yeah. All right, any questions?
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, Emily. And just in case you missed what Lisa said, all of the information about when the grants committees will be meeting will be going out by email and will be posted on our Facebook page. As usual, the grants committee is probably the #1 way to get very involved with our organization, help research those grants, and really feel like a part of our group. I would encourage anyone to do it. My year that I did it was a fantastic year. Next, Marla, would you like to give any update on program? Okay, come on up.
I'm very excited about our December meeting. It's in the early stages, but I hope that you can attend in December because we're going to try to highlight the arts and music, which I think is the holiday season is a great time to do that. So it should be a very uplifting meeting. And I'm still working on what to do exactly. So if anyone has any suggestions, but we may have a new venue and focus on some music. So that would be nice.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marla. I have no update from Heidi, except keep watching our Facebook page. If you are not watching our Facebook page, you should. Just find us on Facebook. And then next, Tasha, did you have anything you'd like to share from the Community Foundation?
No, thank you.
All right. So I'm just going to kind of wrap us up here. Registrations are technically due today, and we have a grace period available for you if you haven't registered yet. If you are a new person today and you're just visiting, welcome. I hope that you have learned something today. If you'd love to talk afterwards, I would love to say hello to you. If you notice on the tables, you have these little cards. Feel free to take them home. I have a big stack if we need more. They have all of our dates for our next meetings listed, and there's a QR code. So if you have not yet registered, that will take you right to the online registration. Beyond that, you will notice on that little card, we have our old green logo. The Community Foundation was so kind and is helping us update our logo to this beautiful blue logo that we are starting to use. So full integration has not yet happened. We have to have new name tags printed, things like that, but you will see us phase it in very quickly. And this is our new wonderful logo, and the Guiding Circle is super excited about that. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. It is now time for good of the order. Does anyone have anything to share? Come on up, Susie.
I could not resist the chance when I'm with such a vibrant group. Our church, the church right here, First Pres, is looking for a coordinator for children and youth. And I have a description, and I thought perhaps there's someone here who would enjoy such a job or know of someone who would. So this is what I came before you to say. So contact me. I have sheets right here for a description. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Come on up. Tracy has something to share.
Good morning. I know that I have a voice that doesn't carry very well, so if you can't hear me, wave. I apologize. I'm here on behalf of a local group in Hancock County that is putting on a camp for kids who have lost a loved one to overdose. The statistics are pretty dismal even in Hancock County, especially during the pandemic, of children who have lost a parent or other loved one. And we know that mental health and drug addiction has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. This project is being supported by a pretty wide number of organizations in town. Adamus is on board, the Family Resource Center, NAMI, Focus, Children's Mentoring Connection, New Life Assembly of God, Trinity Lutheran, First Presbyterian Church, Hancock County Veterans Service Office, and I'm sure that there are more. What we're trying to pull off is a camp for kids to help provide those kids with support and encouragement. Particularly, we're looking at doing something prior to the holidays. The date that we have identified is Saturday, November 20th, and it will probably be a 4-hour event, and it will be hosted at New Life Assembly of God. The idea, the goal behind this project is to surround impacted children and youth with a supportive and compassionate community to help them get through the holidays. There will be activities. We've been in contact with some different nonprofit organizations providing art, music, physical kinds of activities that are fun and engage the children and youth in some positive activities. What we need is that we're looking for an individual who might make a short-term commitment to kind of administer the program. The content will all be handled by this committee of organizations that will be involved. We're looking for someone who might be willing to put together some, flyers that can be distributed to parents and to the schools, who might be willing to set up an online registration system and take registrations, just kind of support the work of the community. So it's a volunteer opportunity for one or more people. It's short-term, and I think it has the potential to offer great rewards. The committee is looking at doing a bigger real camp kind of experience next summer. But for now, just trying to get something off the ground prior to the holidays. If you have an interest, I have put together a little bit of a job description. It's pretty simple, and contact me, and I'd love to put you in contact with the people that will be running the camp. So thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
Give you back your papers. Thank you, Tracy. Do we have any more for good of the order today? Please come up.
So I didn't expect to share anything, but I thought this would be a really great opportunity to. I work with a gentleman who's actually a financial advisor. And 10 years ago, his mother retired. She was a hospice nurse and everyone depended on her. She was needed by everyone and she really felt purpose. Within 6 months of retiring, she actually fell into a depression because she realized that in her mind, no one needed her anymore. She actually took her own life 10 years ago. And Tony just wrote a book about it because he was actually a financial advisor, and it was particularly crushing for him that he hadn't emotionally prepared his mother for that transition. So he's a book that's actually coming out and available next week, and all profits of it are going to support the Pamela Hickson Memorial Scholarship at the University of Findlay for nursing students. So if you have any questions about the book and how you can be emotionally prepared for the transition, or just how to support the scholarship for a local student, I love to talk about it. So that's it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else today? Thank you, ladies, for sharing. We always love to know what you're working on and what's going on in the community. And with that, I will do we have a book club? We have a book club update. Lisa will come up and share that.
Good morning, everyone. Well, last year, Alana had this wonderful idea to connect us all via the start of a book club for our organization. And we had several ladies that were very interested in it. And I'm glad to say it went very nicely throughout the year. I think we maybe met, I think over 4 or 5 books last season. This summer, I got together with a few ladies, and I'm basically going to head up the book club this year. And we chose our titles. I will send those all out via email. We've picked basically one a month, except for the month of December. And our first meeting will be September 23rd. We are reading The Midnight Library. And I haven't decided yet on a location to meet, but we will be sending that out. I hope that some of you will join us. It's been very lively discussions and interesting reads, and we have quite a variety of different books this year. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. And I will say one thing about the book club. It was a fantastic way to meet some new women, even during a pandemic. Those Zoom meetings were really fun. And it was really fun to meet with ladies who I'm not sure were in my coffee group to begin with. So I would encourage you all to come and join us to read this book and come and join us. And this one's a good one. All right, so our next meeting is December 9th at 9:30 and 5:30. I guess our next true meeting is this evening at 5:30 at the Country Club. You are more than welcome to attend both meetings. The evening meeting is a little bit more abbreviated on the meeting and more about socializing. You can have a glass of wine if you would like to. And thank you all for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you in December.